Emily Carter had never considered herself extraordinary. At 23 years old, she lived in a small suburban neighborhood in Ohio, worked a standard 9 to 5 at a local bookstore, and spent most of her free time curled up with a novel or binge-watching TV shows. Her friends described her as sweet, quiet, and dependable, someone who never caused trouble and never took big risks. But beneath the calm, ordinary exterior, Emily carried something she rarely spoke about, a constant, dull ache of dissatisfaction. She wasn't unhappy with her life, but she wasn't proud of it either. When she caught her reflection in the mirror, she saw someone who had let years of comfort take over, slouched shoulders, soft arms, and a body that lacked strength or energy. She avoided cameras and wore loose hoodies to hide the parts of herself she didn't want the world to see. The real breaking point came one chilly autumn morning. Emily had been walking up the stairs to her apartment when a box she was carrying slipped from her hands. It wasn't even that heavy, just some groceries and a few books. But as she bent to pick it up, she found herself short of breath, her heart racing like she had just run a mile. Her neighbor, Mrs. Collins, a woman in her late 60s, stopped to help and easily lifted the box. That moment stung more than Emily expected. She was 23, yet a woman 3 times her age was fitter and stronger. That night, Emily stared at the ceiling in bed, thinking about how her life was passing by without her doing anything meaningful for herself. The next morning, she made a decision. The first step. Emily walked into a small local gym the very next week. The place smelled faintly of rubber mats and metal weights. Loud music played from hidden speakers. People moved with purpose, lifting, running, sweating. Emily felt like an outsider, awkward and out of place in her oversized hoodie and sneakers. She didn't know the first thing about exercise. Machines looked like alien contraptions, and the weights seemed intimidating. But she signed up for a membership anyway. Her first few workouts were humbling. She could barely manage a few push-ups. The treadmill left her gasping after 5 minutes, and every time she picked up a dumbbell, she felt weak. But something inside her refused to quit. That stubborn, quiet determination, the same quality that made her dependable at work, now became her fuel. Emily started small, 3 days a week at first, learning basic movements, struggling, sweating, and sometimes feeling embarrassed. But after each session, she walked out of the gym with her head a little higher. Facing the inner voice. The hardest part wasn't the workouts. It was the voice in her head. You're not an athlete. You'll never look like those strong women here. Why even bother? But every time those thoughts crept in, Emily remembered the moment on the stairs with Mrs. Collins. She reminded herself that this was not about looking like anyone else. It was about becoming stronger than yesterday. Slowly, her discipline grew. She replaced late-night junk food with healthier meals. She started drinking more water, walking instead of driving short distances, and even going to bed earlier. The changes were small, almost invisible at first, but they were stacking up.